Thank y'all for coming today. Appreciate it. It's always on Mondays after a loss. It's a little bit tougher to do things right. But I got to start off by saying I really love our football team. I like the resiliency. I like the way we don't do everything right, and we didn't do everything right on Saturday. But I love the way we competed for 60 minutes. And I said it. I stood up here last year and I said if we play 60 minutes, then our opponent plays 60 minutes. I can't tell you how the game's going to end up, but if they take a break, we know how the game's going to end up, and that's kind of what happened the 2 previous weeks. McNeese played 60 minutes. You got to give them credit. We went down the field and scored. We had the lead twice in the fourth quarter. They had 4 minutes left in the game, and they had a 93-yard drive to win the game, and they did. And we had the ball back with 2 minutes left for us to have an opportunity to go down and score, and we didn't. So they got it done on offense, and they got it done on defense. We didn't get it done on offense, and we didn't get it done on defense. So when you look at those things, they deserve to win that football game. They did a nice job against us. But I'm going to go back again. I really love our football team. They competed and fought and overcame adversity. Being down 24-3 to coming back and taking the lead. We scored 2 touchdowns in the last 3 minutes of the first half. To get back in that, we could have folded at any point in time, and we didn't. And we didn't fold at all during the course of the game. We made mistakes. We did some things that I felt like one characteristic. We made some mistakes, but we didn't fold. We didn't quit playing hard. And as long as we do that, we'll always have a chance. I think offensively, the biggest disappointment for me was our inability to run the football. I talked about them last week up front. I thought their front four was really energetic, had a lot of energy, ran to the football, athletic, and they proved it. But I was disappointed in the lack of physicality by our offensive line coming off the football. We stayed more lateral. We reverted back to some old habits. We had 4 false starts by the offensive line, too. One of them critical, first and goal at the 2-yard line. That was, that's a tough pill to swallow there. So that was probably offensively, I think, and then the inability to hit the big plays. I think there were 2 plays for sure with Austin, one early in the game, one late in the game that Jason just missed on, that we had a chance to score touchdowns with. And then defensively, stopping the run. We didn't stop the run. They attempted. They didn't get a lot of yards per carry, but they got a lot of yards, and they got some efficient yards. So because of that, they were able to control the football and the clock. And then we had 2 major breakdowns in coverage that allowed touchdowns to take place. And, that's that. And we'll work hard to correct those things. But even with all the things that we did wrong, we still fought and competed all the way to the end. And, and that's why it was easy to see our guys yesterday. I can't wait to get out to practice today. I think the energy level is still high. And I'll move forward to the UIW game. We're coming back home. We want to have a great crowd out here. It's home for us. The opportunities for us, every goal that we had, everything that we wanted to do this season is still in place. We got to do what we got to do right here at Strawberry Stadium. And by doing that, and when we take care of that, we'll be where we want to be. But I think you're looking at a UIW team who's starting to get in their groove. The quarterback's healthy. He's playing well now. They've got 2 really good running backs, and they rely on the run game. But everything offensively goes through their quarterback as far as him dropping back, throwing the football, running with it, scrambling. He's a dynamic player. We saw that last year when we played him over there in San Antonio. And then defensively, they're an odd front team. So you'll see a lot of different stuff. They bring pressures from both angles, both sides, open end sides. I think their front 3 is very active, and they do a good job on gaps. So we're going to have to do a good job controlling that and identifying. They'll go between a 3-4 and a 4-3 at times. So our offensive line is going to have to be really wide-eyed to be able to distinguish between the 2 and make the calls accordingly. For us, we got to take care of the football. We turned it over twice against McNeese. These guys are +5 in the turnover margin right now, so in the conference. So they do a good job of getting the ball out. I think in fact, I know for sure they lead the conference in interceptions right now with 7. So we've got to do a good job of taking care of the football. There's some ball hawks on their side of the ball. So we've got to take care of the football for us to be successful against them. So, but coming back home, Strawberry Stadium, man, that's what I can't wait for. That's, you do. We were talking about it yesterday. Jacksonville State felt so right. Lamar felt so right, being right here at home, playing in front of our fans, and we just want to get a great crowd out there again and create that atmosphere. The weather's going to be gorgeous, and so we can't wait to get back and play. But with that, I'll take any questions you guys got.
Without getting anybody in trouble, could you explain what happened on that first PAT by
Yeah, nobody's going to get in trouble. I mean, they blew the call. He just missed the call, and he admitted on the field that he missed the call. He said, I blew it. It was an inadvertent whistle. It was a mishandled snap. The kicker tried to kick it, botched that. We picked it up and took off. Trey Spann picked it up. In the process of after the kick, which basically became, I guess, a block kick, if you want to term it that, and us actually clearly recovering the ball, the referee blew the whistle. So it becomes an inadvertent whistle, which kills the play. And then you go back to the rule on inadvertent whistles. The offense then has the opportunity to replay the down. So the inadvertent whistle, so they followed the rules. The replay of the down, which allowed them to kick it again, was correct. That's the correct call on that and the correct rule interpretation. The mistake came when the inadvertent whistle. He shouldn't have blown the whistle. He should have let the play itself out, and the score should have been 6-2 after that. So.
Just get clarification.
Yeah, that's all it is. Yeah. I don't know if he gets in trouble or not. He blew the call, so. But he told me, came right over to me. He said, I made a mistake on the call. I should have never made that. I should have never blown the whistle. And so that's what happened.
Frank, did you consider using Taryn Jones as a runner Saturday, but because you were behind, couldn't really do it?
Yeah, Devontae and Coop do such a good job, Jim, as far as protections and in catching the ball out of the backfield. They're just, in space, they're just really dynamic. Plus, we weren't running the football well. We didn't feel like we were getting any creases inside that we could get and push on the line of scrimmage, which, when we talked about it afterwards, maybe Teron could have given us that pounding guy that we needed, but the issue really wasn't that. The issue was us not coming off the football on the offensive side. So, we didn't – he played 5 or 6 snaps. He's in that package with Cole. So when he goes in there, Cole goes in there, and those two guys go in together. So he was in on those packages. And, we were successful on those packages. But, we talked about it. We have stuff in for each player. But we felt like at that time, because of the way the game was going, that we were going to be more – we were going to throw the football a little bit more because we got behind so early, that those two guys would be more valuable for us.
Nathan didn't make the trip with you guys.
He did, and he rolled his ankle on Thursday in practice.
Okay.
So he'll be. We'll see what happens this week. But Bryce Broussard did a great job. I mean, he kicked off well, 4 for 4 on extra points, 2 for 2 on field goals. And then I'll mention Austin Dunlap. I think it's 47.5 yards a punt. He did one hell of a job for us. I mean, 2 of them were inside the 20. Another one should have been down inside the 20. We just missed it on the coverage. We had somebody not get back over there where he should have been. But I thought he did a fantastic job flipping the field for us a few times and gave them some difficult situations, from a field position standpoint. Yeah. But that's what happened to Nathan. He rolled his ankle. Yeah. He was a late scratch.
For you guys, what's kind of this is kind of the first time you're in conference, you lost one. What's kind of the mindset of the guys right now? How are they going to be doing?
Well, just iron out our mistakes. It wasn't anything. We played a good football team at home, and we talked about it last week. They were in a position where they had to win. So we were going to get their best shot, and we got it early. And we knew that. Now, we turned it over the first 2 possessions, but, we withstood the pressure from them down 24-3. And that's what I tell you about our team. I really like the mental makeup of our football team. And we fought back to go 24-17 at half and then take the lead in the fourth quarter, twice, 2 separate occasions. So us able to fight back tells us we got some things going right. And it's easy to point out when you have so many things going right, the mistakes are just often glaring. The 2 turnovers are glaring. The false starts are glaring. So those things, let's fix those. Well, we control that. We control those. I mean, it could have been a better throw. We do a better job ball security. We don't false start. Those are things that we can control. So the message is continue to do what we do, just do it better. And let's keep doing that, and we'll be fine. So I think that they feel that. We've got a lot of confidence right now, and our players feel that. And we want to continue doing what we're doing because we feel like we're on the right path.
Coach, the early deficit, do you think it was a case of you guys not being as ready to start, or McNeese just coming out firing all cylinders and just having to withstand that and adjust?
Yeah, I think it's 2 turnovers early. I think that's what it is. You know, we kicked off to them. They get it. We fumbled the ball back. Threw the interception and gave it back to them. Gave them 7 points. They got 10 points off of 2 turnovers. You know, so now take out the 2 turnovers. It's 14-3 instead of 24-3. Now we go into halftime 17-14 up. You know, so I think turnovers to me are always such a big deal. Some people kind of overlook it because they see other stuff, but those are when you take away one of your possessions and you give it to the other team, especially in the field position we did, both of them on our plus side of the field. When you do that, that's a huge advantage to the opposition, and we did that twice early on in the game. So now you got a team that has to win. They're coming out. They're fired up. They're going to play well. Let's keep them from doing it, and we gave them momentum. So we gave them some stuff early on. But like I said, a credit to our guys being able to fight back and do what we did, and that's what I'm more pleased about than anything else.
Coach, the last 2 weeks you played teams whose backs were pretty much totally against the wall in the conference race. Do you feel like your team might have some of that now? Won and sense of urgency, maybe?
Absolutely right. But I hope we got a sense of urgency all the time. I hope it's not just this. Every game is so critical. If you want to do what we want to do, every game is critical. So with that, this game is critical again. Now, is it even more critical? I don't know if more critical is the right way to say it, but I know we're coming off a loss and we're coming back at home. Now we're at home, coming off a loss, and we need to win this game. This game is important for us going into the open date to get this win. So how important is it? Well, it's the most important game on our schedule. It's our next game. But when you take the whole situation, just like you said, Northwestern had to win. They had to figure out a way not to go 0-5 and 0-2 in the conference. McNeese had to figure out a way not to lose again and had to win at home. Those guys had to figure out how to get it done. So that's what we got to do this week. We're at home. We got to hold serve. In this conference, you got to hold serve. You got to make people that travel to your place pay for getting on the road. And we got to make those guys. We got to make sure we hold serve when we come here. Absolutely, though. From that standpoint, we talked about it in our meetings earlier.
Coach, you talked about UIW's defense.
Yeah, they're an odd front team. They play the teams that they've played so far have been throwing the football a lot against them. So they've got 7 interceptions on that, and they lead our conference in interceptions. They're around the football. They had 2 of them in the Houston Baptist game they could have picked. One against Abilene Christian that it was just a drop. So they could have easily 10 interceptions right now. I think they do a great job running to the football. They got a lot of guys back. They got an outside, and I can't tell you his name right now, but I'll know it in the next day or two. One of their linebackers is back. He's very active coming off the edge from a pass rush standpoint. They're really good against the run. They, like I said, shut Houston Baptist down in the run game. That's why they threw the ball 69 times against them. So I think they're really active on defense, where their scheme going in and out of a 3-4 to a 4-3 is going to present problems. We just got to identify it. So it can present problems, but if we do a good job identifying it, we'll be okay.
Frank, Branson late in the season had a bigger role in the offense last year, but he's really looks like he's blossoming this year. Would you talk a little bit about that, his development, and then how he fits into the offense?
Yeah, I think when you look at, we got a unique talent at the tight end position. One, we use them. We use our tight ends. Not all teams use them. You'll see some people, they might have another guy back there, but he's not really he's just another fullback. We use ours as a tight end, which means he's going to block in the run game, but we want him to be a threat in the pass game. I think Branson caught 8 or 9 this past week, but a lot of those are design plays. If the coverage, there were a few times the other night that McNeese rolled the coverage to him and doubled him and left a couple of the guys single coverage. But there were sometimes they went back and rolled the other way, which Chasen found him on a couple of plays where they had him in single coverage and he's able to beat those guys. But I think you can see with his length and his size that his ability to do some things. The touchdown that Cole threw him that he tiptoed in the back of the end zone, man, that was, that was a tough. Cole made it harder than what it was, but Branson made a heck of a catch. But to get his foot down right inside was awesome. And then you really saw his power when he caught the ball down the middle of the field and picked up an extra, I think it was 18 or 22 yards after the catch, after contact was made. So we have things specifically in for him. And if the coverage they don't roll over to him, we're going to him. And it doesn't, one-on-one coverage for him, he's still open. The corner's going to still cover him because you can't outrun him, but he's just so big he can outmatch him, you know. So he's open just by his presence alone. So you got to double cover the guy, but if you do that, you're going to leave somebody else in single coverage. So I think he's a good weapon for us, and we're going to continue to use him.
What about his development since last year?
Yeah, he's great. You know, he's playing more physical in the run game. He's doing a lot better running routes, getting open. He's understanding what his, I guess, where the leverage is and things like that. Ross Jenkins coaches our tight ends, and he's done a much better job, especially in the pass game, understanding leverage, where he needs to go, how to get open, how to lean a guy. Going back the other night on a deep ball, he leaned the corner out and kind of almost flipped him and then broke it back inside to make the catch. You know, so the things that he's doing right now is stuff that from last year to this year he's grown, especially in the pass game.
Coach, anything you want to talk about on defense to kind of create some more turnovers down the ball?
Yeah, you know, right. We're dead last in the conference. We talked about it this morning. We haven't gotten a fumble recovery all season long. We're not even forcing that many. We got to go. What we're missing right now defensively are those guys that attack the football. We got guys that tackle, but we got to get guys that attack the football. We got to be more physical on defense. We got to be more of when we swarm to the football, we got to go hit people. We're not punishing enough people defensively. We got to do a better job of that. And when you do that, when you're attacking, balls are going to pop loose. And then we got to get those strips in there. So that's what we're looking to do. We got 3 picks. One of them in conference play. We got to get some more. We got to ball hawk some more. We got to go find some more, get some more opportunities to go get some balls. We got to do a better job defensively creating turnovers. But I think it's going to come, especially from a fumble standpoint, us being more physical as far as attacking. Like I said, we're wrapping up and we're taking people to the ground. We got to do more than that. We got to be more physical, and we got to attack people and pound them. You're sore after a game on Sunday. So we feel sore on Sunday. We got to make them feel us on Monday and Tuesday, you know, and we're not doing that right now.
Offensively for UIW, what challenges do they bring?
Well, everything goes through the quarterback. They got 2 running backs that have about the same amount of yardage as far as rushing standpoint, and they're going to run the football. They do a good job of that. But the quarterback, between running and throwing on the run and throwing in the pocket, he's just such a weapon. Once he gets out and takes off, he can make stuff happen. They got one receiver over 100 yards this past week, but they got 3 or 4 guys that he goes to. I don't think he has a preference on one or the other. The big thing for him is you got to keep him in the pocket and you got to tackle him because he's a strong kid. So even when you get your arms around him, a lot of times he squirts out, and then when that happens, all hell breaks loose, to tell you the truth. He can make some plays. He did it against us last year as a true freshman. We had him a couple of times hemmed up in the pocket, got out, made some throws down the field, one of them for a long touchdown pass. So we got to keep it. Everything's going to go through him. But I think their running game, those 2 backs that they have, King and Brown, I think is the other one. Those 2 guys do one heck of a job running the football. They're good. You know, I stood up here last week and told you about the kid at McNeese. These 2 guys are good too.
Is there any similarity what you're going to try and do defensively coming off of Orgeron, who would run around a good bit as well?
Yeah, there's some stuff. Yeah, we'll spy him sometimes, but their pass games, he's more effective as a thrower than McNeese was. But so we got to do more things from a coverage standpoint, which means we got to get more pressure on the quarterback. But we got to stay in our lanes and we got to push the pocket. We got to get up the field and push the pocket. I think we had 2 sacks this past week. I would like to have gotten 1 or 2 more. You know, get 3 or 4 to affect him. We got to go affect him. We got to get him off his mark. But when we get him off his mark, we got to have somebody there to keep him in the pocket. We can't just let him get out and get on the run because that's when he gets to be dangerous, I think.
Last year when you played these guys, it was kind of the coming out party for John Copeland, and it kind of took off from there until he got hurt. I mean, when you have the freshman performance last season, what's his makeup, do you think, and what's making him?
He's a gunslinger, Rob. He just, you know, when you watch him play, he just he'll look once, look twice, boom, he's gone, or he feels pressure, he takes off, and then the receivers just get in sync with him, and he finds somebody. He's not scared to make any throw. He can make any throw. He's got a good enough arm. So those receivers will get locked in with him, and then he's getting the ball down the field. He looks down the field. A lot of times a quarterback will scramble, and he's looking at defenders to see where he's got to go when he's got to get down. He doesn't do that. His eyes go down the field, which is a mark of a good player, instinctive guy. He takes off and goes, when he scrambles, his eyes are looking for offensive guys to get the ball to him. And I think that's the big thing with him. I wouldn't be surprised if he was a pretty good basketball player, because basketball players have that vision to be able to see the court, and they see offense and defensive guys, but they're anticipating windows. And I think that's what when I watch him, I see him doing those things, especially when he gets out of the pocket.
Coach, this is about Saturday's game. What do you want to tell the fans, and when do you think they need to get the loudest and get involved in the game the most?
Yeah, get here, man. Get here to the game. And then as far as getting loud, just the whole game. Just tailgate starting at 8 o'clock. 7 if you want Bloody Marys, I guess. I don't know. But then bring them in the stadium. Well, maybe you can't. But come into the stadium. And then our players feed off of that energy. Our players, we can feel it. You can, I mean, I'm standing on the sidelines. I look over there at our student body and the people on the other side, and you can see the excitement. You can see the band. You turn around and look over here, and it's filled up, and you can feel the energy in the stadium. And when you're getting tired or things are down or maybe things aren't going your way, we can feel the fans. You know, our guys scored touchdown and high-fiving guys in the tents on both sides. And, you know, stuff like that people don't realize sometimes you're out there and you're playing your butt off, but really you do notice what's going on around you. You do notice your surroundings. You like to think that they're just focused in on that. But after a play or between plays, you're feeling the energy. You see players all the time do this because they want the crowd into it. Why? Because they feel that. There's that energy that's taking place, and it's being transferred from the stands to the field. So we want them here, and we want them loud.
When you see that they had 7 interceptions, you guys obviously want to throw it. What is the, for you guys, what's the thing there when you see that with their defensive backs and what they're doing?
Yeah, it's the same thing, though, every time. Make the right read, trust what you're seeing, and then throw it. Commit to it. That's it. And if they pick it, they pick it. They make a great play, they make a great play. But if you make the right read, you commit to the throw, then you throw it, and then go ahead, throw it with authority, and believe in what you're doing, and then whatever happens, happens. Hopefully you make an accurate throw, and it hits your guy in the hands, and he catches it, and we're doing what we're doing. But if they pick, they pick it. You can't ever sit back and say, I'm scared to throw against this guy. I don't think they got some good defensive players. None of them are Deion Sanders. So it's not like we can say, don't throw over here to him or don't throw over there to them. Just go ahead and go through your reads, go through your progressions, get the ball where it's supposed to be going, and commit to the throw, and throw it with authority. So it's not going to be any different from that. We just got to know those guys are ball hawks. We got to put the ball in the spots where our guys can catch it and theirs can't.
Coach Trey Drake got the start from Mike this week. What did you think?
Yeah, I thought he did a heck of a job. We were, concerned because he hadn't played a lot, right? And so Mike went down against Northwestern. Trey jumps in there, plays well the whole second half against Northwestern. Now he had the game plan under his belt. And he's a guy that's basically been on a scout team for 2 years. And so he comes in and he gets some playing time against Northwestern and then really plays well against McNeese this past week. And he and Alexis, I think, at the linebacker position give us some stability right there, which is really happy to see. Both of them are growing together, and they're complementing each other.